The physics of going within. Notes on the technical mechanics of Shabd Yoga meditation. The first leg of meditation is mechanical. Perhaps the secret to deep concentration in meditation resides in how well we can thicken or immerse our focus in any particular moment. In analyzing Shabd Yoga from a dispassionate, quasi-scientific standpoint, placing in brackets such devotional concepts as guru bhakti and grace, it becomes possible to deconstruct the meditation process into precise, observable components. Such an approach does not diminish its spiritual depth. Rather, it clarifies the technical scaffolding on which transcendence is built. Understanding meditation's mechanics allows the practitioner to see what is actually occurring, neurologically, psychologically, and phenomenologically, beneath the veil of mysticism. 1. The computational architecture of Simran. The silent recitation of the five-name mantra given at initiation in Radha Swami Bayas, related traditions, bearing resemblance to the Gnostic notion of traversing inner archons, typically takes between 5 to 8 seconds. In effect, one can repeat the mantra about 8 times per minute, translating to roughly 1,000 repetitions during a 2-hour session. This simple act, mechanical and rhythmic, functions like an internal metronome for consciousness. Breaking down this mantra even further, each syllable or name functions like a data packet in a stream of mental computation. In informational terms, if each letter equals a byte, the five-name mantra, spaces included, totals approximately 42 bytes of data. Side note: the number 42 gained cultural immortality via Douglas Adams' The Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy, where it stands as the answer to the ultimate question of life, the universe, and everything. Fittingly, in computer code, the asterisk, often used as a wildcard, corresponds to ASCII 42. Coincidentally, molybdenum, atomic number 42, is an essential trace element in biological enzymes, hinting at an intriguing symmetry between chemistry, computation, and consciousness. Thus, 2 hours of Simran, repetition of sacred words, could be said to equal roughly 42,000 bytes, or about 41 kilobytes of mental data compression. The purpose, of course, is not numerical, but attentional: to condense the diffuse flow of thoughts into a single coherent channel. 2. What is a moment in awareness? To grasp the physics of attention, we must first define a moment. In the mid-19th century, Hermann von Helmholtz and Wilhelm Wundt measured the speed of nerve impulses and found them far slower than expected. Consciousness, therefore, is not instantaneous. It is a process with measurable delay. As John McCrone elaborates, modern research has shown that human nerves conduct impulses at a whole range of speeds. Large, heavily myelinated nerves transmit at up to 240 miles per hour. But inside the brain, where axons are small and unmyelinated, the speed drops to 2 to 20 miles per hour. It takes roughly 10 to 20 milliseconds for any sensory signal to reach the brain, and additional time for the brain to construct a response. This means consciousness is a film strip, not a photograph. Our awareness flickers at perceptual intervals, much like the 24 frames per second of cinema. Show images faster than 50 milliseconds apart, and the mind fuses them into continuity. A moment, then, may last anywhere from 40 to 500 milliseconds, with Benjamin Libet's famous experiments suggesting a 500 millisecond lag between stimulus and awareness. Meditation, from this perspective, is a conscious hacking of that lag, a deliberate slowing of perception so that awareness can catch up to itself. 3. Thickening the moment. When the practitioner silently repeats each word of the mantra, the moment becomes filled, occupied, by that word alone. The goal is to thicken this occupancy so thoroughly that stray thoughts cannot slip in between syllables. Yet this is exceedingly difficult. The untrained mind wanders incessantly, pulled by 1,000 associative threads. The result is distraction, drowsiness, or the deceptive sense of trying without inward progress. True concentration, therefore, lies not in duration, but in density. Meditation is not something one does for 2 hours. It is something one sustains for 8 seconds, then repeats. The practitioner's task is to master 500 milliseconds, then a second, then 8 seconds, until consciousness forms a continuous line of unbroken attention. 4. Threshold phenomena: light and numbness. When concentration begins to stabilize, certain physiological and perceptual thresholds appear. The body grows still, the limbs numb, and subtle flashes of inner light may arise. These sensations, both pleasurable and disorienting, often derail progress as the mind shifts from doing Simran to enjoying it. Expectation intrudes, and the delicate thread of awareness frays. If the meditator can resist this fascination and remain steady, the scattered darkness of the mind gradually illuminates. A point of light may emerge, serving as a visual anchor that amplifies focus. Here, attention transitions from linguistic repetition, Simran, to visual centering, Dhyan. The process resembles falling asleep, but in reverse. Rather than consciousness fading into oblivion, it intensifies, becoming more lucid and self-aware. 5. The inner acoustics of Shabd. At deeper stages, Shabd Yoga, literally union through sound, unfolds its namesake. Subtle, musical tones, bells, flutes, hums, and currents become audible. The yogic literature often compares these to the sounds of cascading waters or resonant bells. Yet these auditory experiences can themselves become diversions if the practitioner abandons mantra repetition prematurely. Hence, traditional guidance emphasizes mastering Simran and Dhyan first, before fully surrendering to Shabd inner sound. Once the sound current becomes dominant, concentration transforms from effort to effortless flow. Awareness merges with vibration. Consciousness rides the current inward, transcending the cognitive boundaries of body and brain. In this state, sound is not merely heard, it is inhabited. 6. The neurochemistry of stillness. Being still is a technical skill that can be learned. Stillness is not passive. It is the byproduct of complex neurochemical interactions. Research by Canadian neuroscientists Patricia Brooks and John Peever at the University of Toronto identified 2 neurotransmitters, GABA and glycine, as responsible for the muscular paralysis experienced during REM sleep. These chemicals switch off motor neurons to prevent the dreamer from acting out their dreams. During deep meditation, similar inhibitory pathways may be activated consciously, producing a sensation of bodily immobility, even while awareness remains fully alert. This offers a striking physiological parallel. Meditation may simulate REM paralysis while preserving full consciousness, a controlled induction of what, in sleep, occurs involuntarily. The common phenomenon of sleep paralysis, where one awakens yet cannot move, sometimes accompanied by vivid visions, may provide a clue to the neurochemical boundary crossed during the early transformative phases of Shabd Yoga practice. Conclusion: meditation as inner engineering. Shabd Yoga, stripped of its mysticism, can be viewed as an advanced form of cognitive engineering. Its methods, repetition, fixation, sound immersion, serve to modulate neural timing, inhibit sensory input, and redirect attentional bandwidth inward. The practitioner becomes both experimenter and laboratory, measuring the latency of awareness and the thresholds of perception. Yet behind this intricate machinery lies something irreducibly human: the yearning to know what it feels like to be utterly still, utterly awake. Perhaps that is the real physics of going within, the precise art of stopping the world long enough to see how consciousness arises, byte by byte, moment by moment, from the infinite silence that underlies it all.
The sky wears white like a silent vow. A breath escapes, no past, no now. Footsteps vanish, the path undone. The snow speaks softly, one by one. Whispers in the snow, let it go, let it go. A fleeting thought, it melts below. Whispers in the snow, where shadows glow. Find yourself in the flow. The flute calls out a distant take. It bends, it breaks the frozen lake. The wind hums low, a sacred tune. The sun hides shy behind the moon. Empty the cup, fill it with air, nothing to lose, nothing to bear. Whispers in the snow, let it go, let it go. A fleeting thought, it melts below. Whispers in the snow, where shadows glow. Find yourself in the flow. The mountain bows, the cedar sways, time dissolves, no nights, no days. The stillness hums, the answers wait. The snow will fall, the soul